Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Good Wednesday morning to you, Jim. Folks, on today's show, we have with us Steve Cleverley. Who is Steve? He's the Sergeant in Arms for the Warrior Shield Foundation. He is here with some big news, big news on who the recipient of the Warrior Shield Foundation is going to be in 2025 at their Warrior Weekend, which happens in September. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss it. It's big news, and he's got a good story and a great background. Another great individual from that organization. So that, plus we have, Jen Paskey's got some things to talk about. The View is embarrassing themselves again. And we have a little clip from yesterday's Senate or congressional hearing on sex trafficking from our good friend, J.J. Carroll, who was there in person testifying. That plus so much more, Jim, on another amazing episode of what, brother?
Live from the Patriots Prayer Network studios.
Oh,
it is. Two guys, one coop.
We are awakened. We have woke up, America.
Lost in the crowd, truth hides deep, burying the noise. Left hand deals lies, can't stifle the choice. Fight back rage, flames in the night. No more chains, break free from the fright. Eyes clear now, vision in the dark. We stand up, never bow to the mark. We are the storm, we are the fight. Two guys, one coup, bringing light. No more lies, no more games. Stand tall and truth, break the chains. They spit and scream, push buttons in the dark. Yet we rise, never crumble in the park. Paint our faces with colors bright. March ahead in the dead of night. Shattered dreams won't silence us now. Left and right mix poison in the vow, but we see through, we feel the beat.
I am awake. Good morning again. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We usually go to Grit Gear commercial right now, but instead we'll just show you the amazing gear, and we'll get right to the heart of the matter. We're going to bring up Steve Cleverley. Again, he is the Sergeant at Arms for the Warrior Shield Foundation. Besides that, Steve has been involved in the shooting sports community for over 25 years. He competes and trains with federal, state, and local agencies nationwide in tactical and sniper disciplines. In his current role as a law enforcement agency specialist and also a director of sales for 5150 Rifles, he has been allowed to work alongside the country's finest in training and support capacity. His vast team building and leadership training background makes him an excellent addition to the Warrior Shield team. Steve's overwhelming desire to do more and give back to the community he loves brought him to the Warrior Shield Foundation. His affiliation with veteran and first responder organizations across the country will help to increase awareness and expand the outreach as a whole. Let's bring up Steve Cleverley. We have a short time with him. There he is. Hello, brother.
What's up, my friends?
How are you?
Meet the world.
Yes.
Hello, world.
Yeah. Life's a little better the last couple of weeks than it was the previous 4 years. That's all I can say. So there it is, warriorshield.org. Thank you, Buckeye, for putting that up there. Steve, welcome again.
Thank you.
We had you on while we were live at the Warrior Weekend this past September. An amazing story, an amazing individual, and the amazing work that you and the organization does in general. We can't emphasize enough. We said it 100 times. It was one of the best weekends I've probably ever had in my life. Honestly, it was. It's such a. You guys do it right, and the people are just absolutely amazing. The heroes you meet, and just the people who contribute. That you don't have to be a veteran or a first responder or anything. Or you just got to love the country. I mean,
you just got to be a patriot.
You just got to be a patriot. And a matter of fact, we had patriots from Canada there. Even, I mean, that's how important this organization is and the work that you guys do. Tell us a little bit about your background. I briefly went over it, but tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved with the Warrior Shield Foundation.
Well,
And then we can go into the big news. So,
okay. So everything that ties into this big news all started with, and I hate to say it, that John Tigan was my first because that really sounds weird. So I met Tig.
We always remember our first, Steve.
Right. So I met Tig when he was doing Beyond the Battlefield, his foundation. And that was the original Warrior Weekend, and it was here in Reveille Peak, here in Central Texas. So yes, Tig was my first, but that kind of got me interested in advocating for veterans, and I thought it was a great deal. My dad was a veteran, the Korean War area, and then they said, well, the Warrior Shield is doing this, that, and the other. So I ended up coming to Orlando and meeting everybody from the foundation. It was instant love.
Yeah.
So I equated this when we were talking the other day. So I look at everything I'm doing with advocacy, for veterans and first responders. Basically the Warrior Shield has become, the bullet shell case for me. And all the organizations that we help, that's just the gunpowder, that we're stuffing inside that case. And, the bullet's the message. I'm trying to send it, across the world. So, ironically, and we'll get into Corporal Chad here soon, but, that's just what, I love doing. I'm a huge advocate for, the mental health of first responders and veterans. There's just too many people suffering. So,
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So like you said, when we got there and we hadn't met a single person from the organization, we had Chance on, who's the president of the Warrior Shield Foundation, to discuss it. Of course, Rich and Sharon from Great Gear are good friends of ours. And it was kind of last minute. We're like, we got to go to this thing. I mean, it's just something that called us down there anyways to go do it.
Oh yeah.
And the amount of love you get from that organization and the people that accept you and as if you knew them your entire life. That's the kind of family that group is. Isn't it crazy?
So my first trip to Orlando is for Tonto's 14th Hour Foundation.
Okay.
So I go down there and here I am, this guy rushed to Texas and got linked up with these guys. But you said you hit the nail on the head. Everybody welcomed me in like I was family, and they became family. There's not a single person in that organization I wouldn't take a bullet for.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, just that's how good these people are. When you talk about patriots in general, and those that just love the country and want to stand behind their veterans and first responders, Gold Star families, you name it. This is the group. We preach it every episode. This is the group. These are the people that you want to be affiliated with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we officially are now, which is just an honor for us. I mean, it came as a shock, but I mean, kind of affiliated with that group now, and it's been absolutely just mind blowing for us. So we cannot wait till the next Warrior Weekend, but a lot happens in between then. So I want to make sure I preface this by saying that, the work continues daily with the Warrior Shield Foundation. It's not just about one weekend, but it's about what you're about to tell us and how you can contribute and do all that stuff. But what is the big news and how did this all come to play?
Okay. So we have chosen our 2025 recipient for this year. And it is the Corporal Chad O Foundation here in Austin, Texas. Corporal Chad O got started as a result of the death of their son. So Corporal Chad was a USMC veteran, reached out multiple times for help. He knew he was struggling, combat vet, etc. All they kept doing was medicating him and giving him empty promises.
Yep.
So long and the short of it, and everybody can go on corporalchado.org. And read Chad's story. I highly encourage you do it.
I do too.
Can you spell the Chado? Is it
CHADO?
CHADO.org.
Got it. Okay.
So, I encourage everybody to read Chad's story, but ultimately, his demise happened May of 2008. This is after they basically medicated him into oblivion, and then ironically, 1 week later, a bed opened up in a PTSD facility.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is an organization that I've been advocating for. I met Julie and Eric 1 month after I met Warrior Shield.
Wow.
They're local here to me. I started doing when I first got to Texas, I was making like custom holsters and decorating guns and so on and so forth. And the shop I was working out of, he was a big advocate for them. So we just started doing the things we were doing. They're an amazing family, amazing organization. They've got a heart of gold. So what they want to do is obviously raise awareness. But what Corporal Chad does is they provide the funding for veterans and first responders to go get the mental health treatment that they need.
Nice.
And they're 100% organization. So there is not a dime that does not go back to the peacemaker or the warfighter.
Awesome.
And ironically, and the beauty of Corporal Chad is they've linked up with, and I don't know if you guys met Tanya when she was down in Texas, Tanya Glenn.
No.
Okay. So Dr. Tanya Glenn, that's all she does is first responders and veterans. Her team is and I will say this, I'll shout it from the rooftops. They are the best team for treating, mitigating, and preventing PTSD in veterans and first responders.
Repeat who that is again for us.
Dr. Tanya Glenn and Associates out of Austin.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
How Tanya, and this all ties in, so I'll make it fast. But
no. Take your time.
Tanya discovered the Corporal Chad Foundation by accident. So she was running. She's fitness nut. She was running and stumbled upon his memorial bench and sat down, and there was a flyer in there, and she's like, okay, well, why haven't I seen this? She called, and Chad's dad's like, where have you been? You're exactly what we were looking for. Wow. Because her methodologies don't use medication. And we can go into EMDR and what she does for hours. She is the lead in everything that they do. So when Corporal Chad discovers the veterans struggling, either they will fly them or arrange transportation to Austin to one of her 3 offices. They'll do a 2-day intensive, and generally, obviously, there's maintenance after the fact. But these guys are being healed, and she's all the way back to Vietnam.
Holy smokes! Wow.
In terms of this event, is now they're discovering that a lot of these guys and gals are in crisis, and they can't get to Austin. So now they're flying her team to wherever they're at.
Nice.
Oh,
good.
Very cool. Very
good.
Cool.
Going all over the country to help veterans and first responders with this.
Wow.
So to tie all this in is I actually met Tanya at an event that I hosted for Corporal Chad in Veterans Day of 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's epic. She's just doing amazing work with them.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. I'm sure the decision was somewhat difficult at times because probably the Warrior Shield, and I'm guessing, and you can tell me this or not, you're probably getting kind of either bombarded or you've got several choices, right? On who they all deserve it, right? So making that decision is got to be a difficult choice, I would think. How do you come about it? I mean, there's some criteria that you have to make because you're not just giving or providing, the event and the funding from it to just anybody. I mean, there is specific criteria they have to meet.
No, we vet out charities quite extensively. You gotta take into account how much money is actually going back to the service member or the first responder. Corporal Chad obviously is 100%, so that was the dead giveaway.
That's a no-brainer. It's an easy.
But we also look at their credo and make sure that they align with our values and our way of thinking, and they're true patriots. Don't get me wrong, there's some good charities out there, but there's some really bad ones.
There is.
So, and we don't do anything. There is not one single person in our foundation that we don't do it that way. It's a vote. Yep. So we met, I guess it was last week, and, we talked it out, and everybody, kind of brought things to the table. And I guess, mine obviously was Corporal Chad, and that I would fight tooth and nail to make it happen.
Yeah.
But, it was kind of it kind of pulled at my heartstrings a little bit when they gave the approval for the vote.
I'm certain it did. Yeah, I'm certain it did.
Well, that also shows the respect they have for you as well.
Correct.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's mental health with service members and veterans or first responders. It really is. It's a crisis.
It is.
The old stigma of suck it up, rub some dirt in it. You know what? You'll get over it. You're a dude. That shit's got to go away.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I ran into someone in the fire service yesterday that I could just see the warning signs.
Mhm.
You know, so I ultimately started talking and listening to him, and hopefully he's going to get some help, you know, this week.
Good.
So,
Good.
Even the
Yeah,
toughest of them,
you know,
they need help.
I've seen
You know, they
special
need help.
operators that, you know, in my line of work that it's horrible.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
they've been, you know, stigmatized. Guys our age, you know, my old man was a Marine, and
Yeah.
it was, you didn't talk about things like that.
Correct. Mhm.
So, you know, I joke and Tanya will laugh at me, but I realized after meeting her that I was basically living my life wrong for 48 years. Especially when it came to mental health. I mean, there
Yeah.
were some other questionable things too, but it's
Well,
when I
we
when
don't.
I got
Some things
involved with
can't be
her.
cured, you know. It's
Yeah,
just
no, I'm definitely I got a, you know, face made for radio, but it's it, it's it was it was mind boggling. Where it hit me most
Mhm.
was there was an officer involved shooting with a local agency here, and she and I were at SHOT Show in 22, was it 22 or 23? 22. And no, I take that back. It was 23. And her phone's blown up, mine's blown up because my contacts wasn't in the agency. And to watch her go, I was just like, oh damn. But
Mhm.
then again, I realized, well, you know, I'm doing these drive-by check-ins. You know,
Yeah.
hey, duty good? Yep. Rather than sitting actually listening and letting people open up.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
it's groups like this because I mean the veterans
yes,
and the homeless veterans, the veterans that are in trouble, that are struggling,
Mhm.
and
yes,
it's really come into the forefront now where it
Mhm.
needs to be, and it's
absolutely.
out there, and it's foundations like the Warrior Shield, it's
Mm-hmm.
foundations like Sub-Zero and
Mhm.
Corporal Chad, you know, that are, you know what, we can't rely on the government anymore. They
No,
want to help
Yep.
illegals coming into this country, so we
no,
have got to help, and
we
Yep.
want to
that's where
unscrew up
Americans
the
will be.
broken system. You know, the
Mhm.
system is broken. You know,
Yeah.
they took advantage of so many veterans, and ironically, quite a few of the first responders are veterans, and they never got the help coming out of the
Correct.
service for it.
Yep. That's right.
You know, it's crazy. You know, I always thought the special operations community had it best because there are some practices in place, especially with the teams and some of the CAG guys.
Mhm.
But it's the problem is that some of the guys aren't getting the help that they need
Yeah.
to process back in.
Yeah.
And what we're finding also is retirees. Right.
Okay.
This doesn't just go over people that are in.
Yeah.
Once they retire, you know, they may be on these 24-hour shifts and doing everything else. They get home after they retire, and mama's already taking care of the trash, and the kids are already mowing the lawn. All the
Yes.
things that the man is supposed to do is already
Mhm.
being done. So now they sit in the recliner and they either wither away
Yeah.
or they start going into their heads.
Mhm.
You know, and
That
it's
makes sense.
important. Yeah.
That
So
makes total sense.
yeah, and I've got close friends that, you know, were contractors before.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to read the comments here.
Yeah.
It
Sorry. You
says,
wanna, yeah.
Steve, it's I hear what you're saying about not talking. Those who have seen war never stop seeing it. My uncle was a
Yes.
Marine in Vietnam and has never talked about it. God bless all our veterans.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you,
amen to
Aiken.
that.
Thank
You
you,
know, thank
Aiken.
you for commenting on that. You know,
Mhm.
we got to just Tanya, she's got a hashtag called Smash the Stigma,
Mhm.
and it needs to be that stigma needs to go away. You know,
Yeah.
I
we have the adage it's okay to not to be okay.
It's okay.
I
That's right.
watched
Mhm.
I watched 13 Hours again,
Mhm.
and
Uh,
Tig and Tonto, right?
yeah,
And others.
yes,
But those are the two that I'm more familiar with.
yeah,
Um how you come out of that. You
Mhm.
know, how you're through that, the fact that they said these are Americans, I'm going to go help them. You
Mhm.
know, I'm protecting them. Being
yeah,
told don't do it, stand down,
Mhm.
right?
right.
So you got to think the mental when you get home,
Yeah,
everything from what I
From
just
how our
experienced.
country treated you, right?
Exactly. And then how
To
the
right.
country, the
Mhm.
not the country itself, but your bosses
Yes.
Right.
treated you.
Yeah.
So
You
they
know,
need help. And
oh yeah.
Tig is tough as nails,
Jesus Christ.
Tig,
One time.
but he needs help,
I will say this,
right?
that
He needed it.
Tig has found his new happy with his wife Priscilla. And I
Sure.
told her that when we were down there. I
Good.
said, "Girl, you're an angel,"
Mhm.
because you know I've known Tig for a long time, but he's finally at peace and he's finally happy.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Um,
You
you know
know.
what's funny is in special operations contractors, it happened to them a lot, but it doesn't matter if you're a combat vet or whatever. But
Mhm.
you have the survivor guilt. Heaven forbid you're fighting moral injury.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are all the things that it could happen real time. It just takes one thing to make, you know, those sight, sound, smells, and feels of the battlefield come back.
Mhm.
And then you find yourself in crisis, and it's too late.
Yep.
Wow. It's never too late, but it makes it a lot tougher to come back
It
from.
sure does.
And
It
it's
sure
and
does.
it's it's like God brought her into his life.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we all look at this, and you can sit there and say there is no God. Whatever, if you want it, I don't buy it.
No,
There's
and you're
reasons
spot on
things like
correct.
this happen.
Yeah.
And I joke about the whole, shell case, gunpowder, and the bullets message, but God brought, and Corporal Chad, ironically, brought Tanya into my life, and she's been the fire in me to be the advocate that I have been.
Yep. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
the
There
way
are
it
no
is.
coincidences to me.
No.
So yeah. There is fate, and there's fate for a reason.
Yeah.
We feel
We got a great event planned. It's gonna be awesome. We got some special guests coming. It's gonna be a good time.
Well,
Good,
we know
and
to the point, which is a part of our network as well.
Mhm.
See if I can find his little.
Yeah, they're out of Flagler County, so they're not far from Orlando.
I think they're going to come.
Yeah,
and
I think
join
so
us.
too. Yeah,
'cause he
I
couldn't
think
make
they're
it.
going to
He's-
come
see,
there.
Still jealous that
No, you show up, Mike, and it's anybody can go. And of course, we'll have all the information as it gets closer. We know it will be September 5th and 6th.
Yep.
In 2025. We know it'll be at Orlando at the Rosen Center, same location, which is a phenomenal venue, by the way. In case,
they've been great to us over the last couple of years. They really have.
It was
And if we can
smooth
get-
sailing with them. I
if
can
we
tell
can
you
get
that.
Natasha added to your lineup, Natasha Owens. I don't know if Rich brought her up, but that is just going to add to the music, and it's just going to make it even that much.
We got
better.
a package.
Yeah, we have a great time at that concert. Everybody's dancing and having a good time and kind of letting loose. And we got some other special events planned. Possibly going to be doing a range day. I'm going to host a range day. I've got trying to find a place to get you guys on at a mile, but Florida, I mean, I'd have to shoot.
It'd be hard.
Or whatever. But
well, my brother would be my brother who's watching and listening right now would love this. Because 100 yards is nothing. Heck, 10 football fields is nothing.
It's nothing.
So, I mean, so tell us a little bit about what you do, what your specialty is, because I didn't know you could shoot something that far.
It's impressive.
It's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a 14-year-old girl that's better though,
with
right?
me, because this is about Corporal Chad.
Correct,
About the foundation.
Yeah, I know that.
But what's nice is I sport the Corporal Chad logo on my jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of ties in.
Yeah.
I got involved in extreme long range rifle shooting. So the guy that actually taught me was taught by Chris Kyle.
Oh, wow.
Who was pretty good
for those reasons that Chris was working with active service members.
Correct.
So I kind of got the bug and started shooting out matches that went out to 1 and 2 miles, and it's a lot of fun.
It's insane.
2 miles. I can't even run 2 miles.
I can't run 50 feet. I'm old and fat.
It's
That's
hard
just
to drive
impressive.
2 miles anymore.
That is a skill set I was not blessed with, but I respect, man. That's
total. It's
what I love is that's my therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going through a spell and I need time, I go out on a mat and send rounds, and it's an eerie calm is what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
everybody like that needs some sort of outlet like that, and that's
absolutely.
a great one to have as well. I mean, because it's you and the target, man. It's you.
That's
and
exactly right.
It's
you, the target, and your spotter. That's the only voices you hear in your head, and that's absolutely awesome. So I actually, ironically, just got back from a match in Virginia, and then went up to Ohio with the Sub-Zero people.
Oh, did you? Okay, you were up there with them.
Right after I left the Sub-Zero benefit we did, I went over and did that TV show in Vegas. That was a lot of fun too.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I didn't know.
I had to spend a week in Vegas with Tig.
Oh,
I mean, come on now.
I can't even believe you're really honestly alive to talk about it.
I know. Tig, we had fun. They were not happy with Tig because he made them work, but
he didn't ride on any police.
He didn't ride on any cop cars, did he?
No, he tried though. I kept saying, "Do not give him a Sharpie."
Give him a Sharpie. He will sign a police car. That is no doubt about it.
I don't think the Vegas SWAT would have appreciated that.
Probably not.
Well, and for those out there listening, I will say this: the one thing that we did find out when we were down there, and all three of us can testify to this, that water they have down there is very potent.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
I'll not confirm nor deny that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, when the three of
yeah.
us, when you were on the show there, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a little tougher than normal, but we
a little tougher than
professional.
normal that morning. I was like, what happened? Just a good time. The concert
That's
just gets you
It's
pumped up anyway. Such a great event.
Cause we have a good time, but you have to remember what the cause is for, right? We
Right,
have to remember who,
right.
Who
So,
like
I said, with this event coming up, like I said, it's going to be real special. I mean, we're going to have Sean Hogan will be playing again for us.
Yep, that's it. Good.
Ryan Weaver and Bo Bice. So the concert's going to be awesome. And obviously we'll talk about, is it Natasha?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great time. The normal crew that's always there.
Yep.
We're looking to bring it now. And I do believe that it's a blessing that we have, now migrated in with the Legions of St. Michael.
Yes.
Because
agreed.
that right there gives us not only a national but an international presence.
Yep.
Rock and the gang are absolutely phenomenal. In talking with them, they said any events that we want to, have them as a presence at, we can count on them.
Yeah. We need to start promoting them
it's
too,
a great
Right.
bunch.
The
Warrior Riders, they were phenomenal as a whole. Regardless, now with Legion, it's just
it's
light years ahead.
Follow
a
lot of them when we got back after we met them, and Dell dropped off. Oh, you're in audio only, Dell.
Hey,
but I followed him.
Look at him anyway.
Yeah.
my camera just shut off. I have no idea what happened. It's probably a better show now, honestly.
Wow, look at the viewership go up.
I hate you, Jim.
But anyway, Steve, so it's a great time, and we want everybody out there because we're really pushing this, and I'm trying to get some of my family members to come down, and trying to get enough people to come down because we want to fill it up. And
we want every seat to have a butt in it, and if we have to add extra tables for the gala, let's do it. I'm going to be doing a couple special things that I won't tell anybody about until the April fundraiser that Corporal Chad has. I will announce it there, but obviously donations are being accepted now on our website. They go straight to Corporal Chad. So we want to get those numbers up, bump up those rookie number type things. We're gonna have some really cool items up for auction. I've already have commitment from sponsors before we've even set everything up. There's people from Texas here that are going to come down and join us because they just believe in that organization wholeheartedly. We're going to invite some heroes to come down with us from various walks of life, just to be there, and who have either been recipients from Corporal Chad or had treatment done by Tanya and her team, just so people can talk and interact. They're all warriors, they're all first responders, they're all veterans, so it gives them an opportunity to get together, and they're around like-minded people. Some border patrol, some local, state and federal people that will do that. But we want this to be, if not one of the biggest events that we've held to date.
And we're trying to do it. I know
my camera has taken a total dump. I have no idea. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I have no idea why that's happened, but at any rate, can you, I guess, briefly here before we leave, go ahead and mention Warrior Shield again, how people can get involved, donate there, and of course the Corporal Chad
so
organization as well.
We'll start with the Warrior Shield. If you go to warriorshield.org, you can see all of the events we've done in the past. And there is a tab for donations. Once we start getting in what the auction items are going to be, etc., we're going to put those up. So it is an online auction. A lot of those items will be available, obviously, at the weekend. And we'll have a couple of special items on there that probably will get flagged on social media for.
Yeah, I'm sure.
One that I'm not even going to put up, like I said, until April, because I've got to get it done. And then Corporal Chad O, it's obviously corporalchado.org. You can go on there as well and read Chad's story, read about the foundation. They're absolutely amazing people. It's it's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that it's official, we'll add it to all of our stuff, and so it's on there, and we'll keep promoting it and have people go out there and donate and just and to come to the event. I mean,
yeah,
it is
actually,
a great time.
just come to the event. You know, that's what you need to do.
It truly is amazing to see the fellowship and the patriotism that this organization brings in. You know, what I'm hoping is there's not a dry eye in the house when between Tanya and Julie and Eric, they get up and start telling their story.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that everybody realizes that, you know, it's okay not to be okay, and it's never too soon and never too late to ask for help.
Correct. That's right. That's right.
And,
Steve,
and we need to help them. So.
Yep, we do. We do need to help them. Thank you again for coming on, making the announcement here, for joining us. Sorry about the whole camera thing on my end. I'm glad you can at least hear me.
You had the camera issue. I had the firewall issue.
It's a total dump. I mean, I've never had an issue with the camera.
There's some comments too, Dale. I'll play them here in a minute. But
no, I'm gonna play. Yeah, we're gonna after we take Steve off, we're gonna play the Warrior Shield ad. Get right to that. So Steve, come back. We'll have you back again. We're gonna have probably
definitely
a lot of people from the foundation on to talk about the event as it comes up and as it gets closer, and as you have more details and more things to add. Please reach out to us. You're free to come on anytime you want, brother.
And we're actually trying to get Chance, Rich, yourself, and all the on at the same time. Just talk about it.
It works.
And it just be a great time.
Let me know.
So
we'll do.
Right.
We'll do. Steve, thank you again, brother. Appreciate it.
Guys, be good.
All right, talk to you soon, man. Jim, I'm going to go to Warrior Shield and I'm going to try to fix this damn thing. So I don't know what happened, but thank you, Steve, for coming on. We will be right back. Maybe you'll see me. Maybe you won't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Warrior Shield Foundation is here to unite, honor, and provide support for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members. The foundation will enable them to find the help they need through direct assistance or by connecting them with our shared vision network. Using data-driven models, we provide solutions that make a long-lasting difference. We, along with our partners, are dedicated to bringing together like-minded groups and individuals who have committed to making a difference in the lives of our hardworking, everyday heroes. We bridge the gap by connecting warriors or their families with the assistance they deserve and require, such as service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, and team building retreats, to name a few. You can help right now to make a difference for those who have helped and protected us all. Warrior Shield Foundation, selflessly doing for those who need it most.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone. Just look to your left and look to your right. You were born to fight.
Guess who's back?
Hey, look.
Honestly, I have no idea what that was about. It just was not picking up the camera all of a sudden. I probably got to do some adjustments there. Jim, you look taller than me. We all know that's not true. Folks, warriorshield.org, warriorshield.org. Please go there, donate, get involved. You just heard from Steve, Sergeant in Arms for the Warrior Shield Foundation. The entire group is just spectacular, including Rich, who is the treasurer for them from Grit Gear. You've got everybody, Chance, the president, Sherry. They're all absolutely just amazing people. So please go there and support them.
We keep saying it, but we're better people for the people that we've met, especially down there. I mean, especially they're great. And
you got that right. I don't know if we had got to all the comments, people. If we didn't, I'm sorry. If
I do want to play some here.
Go ahead.
Couple go back. We've got it. One of our friends is listening live.
Oh, hey, good morning.
Thank you for tuning in, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Then she also added this.
How many pairs of shoes did you bring down? I've got a lot of shoes. Got a ton
and
of shoes.
Of course, then we had Aiken asked if Steve broke the camera lens. We don't think he did. And then of course, Crazy Southpaw.
For the love of God, Dale. I can't even tell you. Damn it, Dale.
As Hank Hill.
Bobby.
Damn it, Dale. And then of course, Southpaw, sponsor
a working camera. I don't think I qualify. Well, thank you for playing all the ones where I went wrong instead of the ones I actually wanted you to play. I appreciate it.
We already played this one. This was
I know
great
that
comment from Aiken.
It is, which we appreciate. And of course, Buckeye, as usual,
Yes,
always with
Buckeye's
the
a rock star.
websites and always up there. We appreciate it. Listen, we got a lot to get into now. Good morning.
back.
Hey, good morning there. How are you? Thank you for listening. Well, it got me all flustered, Jim, with your comments about my stupid camera. Yes,
God
agree with
bless
that.
the
God
helpers,
bless the
yeah.
helpers. You got that right. Jim, any more before we continue here? Or
No, to the point. There he is. I'm assuming that's
all,
Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Isn't it all better? Thank you, Mike.
But that's
Appreciate
also
that.
cool because we're hoping that to the point, Mike and Vince and
Yep.
Leo from our family of Patriots Prayer, we're hoping they can join us, and then
Yes.
we'll just do a group.
Yeah, we do
you know,
multiple lives there
podcasts.
and all
We just
that.
do a
and
bunch of
so,
different things from there. And
correct.
just
Mhm.
and all the people we have, it's just great. So we're looking forward to that.
And the good news is that we can all set up and like right
Mhm.
near each other and all. Like
Yep.
there's a lot of room, for us to be able to do that. But we're going to count on the 2 Point guys. Hopefully they can make it there. We're going to count on them to also pack the place like we are all trying to do. We'll give you more details about that again as it comes up. We know it'll be September 5th and 6th. From there, and we know
it's
where
in
it'll
Orlando.
be. Yep.
Come down a little early and go visit the other sites in Orlando, and then
that's right.
for Thursday, Friday.
It's absolutely
Saturday,
a beautiful,
enjoy it.
beautiful time of year there. So
the concert, I'm
perfect.
telling you, Ryan Weaver puts on a show.
And that guy puts on a show.
Man.
And that's his song you hear in the background of the
Mhm,
Water
mhm.
Shield Foundation and also Grit Gear commercial. You hear
Yep.
Ryan Weaver's music there. So please check him out too. Jim, let's get into a couple things.
Yep. Couple things have happened.
Yeah, a couple things have happened. I'm going to start with, this is going to take a little while, okay? But last episode, we had JJ Carroll on. Now, JJ, he is the retired senior Border Patrol agent for 25 years. He did 2 documentaries. What is treason trafficked and what is treason invaded? The first one, Trafficked, was about all the sex trafficking that's going on across the country and the world, but how the United States government and the NGOs are implicit in all of those, all that sex trafficking. Well, he was called to testify in front of Congress yesterday. And this is the introduction of the witnesses and then JJ's opening statement. We can pause it or stop it at any time. And I'll pause it at one point and I'll tell you why. But let's listen to
JJ's. It was a little long, but it's worth the listen.
It's worth the listen. So just listen to JJ and we'll get into it here in a minute. So can you guys hear it?
No.
Do you solemnly swear
There
that
you
the
go.
testimony you will give before the Committee on Homeland Security of the United States House of Representatives will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Let the record reflect that the witnesses have answered in the affirmative. Thank you, and please be seated. I'd like to now formally introduce our witnesses. Mr. J.J. Carroll is a retired U.S. Border Patrol agent with a distinguished 24-year career, most recently serving as Deputy Patrol Agent in charge of the San Diego sector. Ms. Allie Hopper is a nationally recognized counter-trafficking expert and policy advocate dedicated to combating human trafficking and exploitation. Ms. Kathy Laren serves as director in the Government Accountability Office's Education, Workforce, and Income Security team. Her portfolio covers a broad range of issues, including child welfare and refugee resettlement. Ms. Tara Rodas, how do you say your last name, ma'am? Rodas. Ms. Tara Rodas is testifying in her personal capacity as an anti-human trafficking advocate, but professionally, Ms. Tara is an 18-year veteran of the Federal Inspector General community. In 2021, Ms. Rodas was detailed to the United States Department of Health and Human Services Office of Refugee Resettlement. As a detailee, She blew the whistle on the failures of the unaccompanied children program and was threatened with retaliation and investigation. I thank the witnesses for being here today. The witnesses' full statements will appear in the record. And I now recognize Mr. Carroll for 5 minutes to summarize his opening statement.
So here's where I want to pause it real quick. Excuse me. Right before, the congressmen give their opening statements and their little 5-minute speech. One of the Democrat congressmen said that he read J.J. Carroll's written testimony, and J.J. Carroll has broken the rules in his written testimony where he calls out the Biden administration by name and Alejandro Mayorkas by name. That is against House rules. So right before, this Democrat just told him that. I watched the entire hearing yesterday, 3 hours of it. So there's a lot to digest. But right before, and JJ, right? Yeah. Let's continue.
Chairman Higgins, Ranking Member Correa, Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivey, and the members of the subcommittee, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the evil of child trafficking caused by the open border policies under President Joe Biden and his administration. I served in the United States Border Patrol for 24 years until I retired as a Deputy Patrol Agent in charge in San Diego sector. I worked under 5 presidential administrations, and only one president secured the border, President Donald Trump. Border Patrol agents went from working and being supported by the greatest border president in American history to the worst, President Joe Biden. My last year in the Border Patrol was Joe Biden's first year in office. On his first day in office, I watched in disbelief as 94 executive orders cascaded down from Washington, D.C., obliterating every immigration policy that had been provided the most secure border in America's history. Border Patrol agents were forced to carry out unconstitutional orders that violated every law in the Immigration Nationality Act. President Biden, through Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, created policy out of thin air, ignored federal immigration law, and facilitated the largest mass invasion into America that the world has ever seen. The United States of America will have spent hundreds of billions of dollars in 4 years to fund the needs of over 50 million illegal aliens that populate our nation. Between 1 in 6 and 1 in 7 residents in America is an illegal alien. America has suffered the greatest demographic shift in modern history. After serving in the United States Border Patrol for 24 years, spending a year researching and writing a best-selling book entitled Invaded, The Intentional Destruction of the American Immigration System, and filming 2 documentaries, I state with complete certainty that Biden, Harris, and Mayorkas intentionally, strategically, and purposely weaponized illegal immigration and used it as a tool to fundamentally transform America. Inside this invasion, the unspoken evil of child trafficking, and more specifically, child sex trafficking, has flourished. At the end of this current administration, the number of children trafficked will have grown to over 550,000 unaccompanied alien children known as UACs. This horrific number of children will have been arrested, released into America, and then lost. To put this into context, during President Trump's last year in office, Customs and Border Protection arrested 30,557 UACs who were accounted for and not lost. Conversely, in the first year of Biden's presidency, CBP arrested 147,975 UACs, most of which are unaccompanied for and lost. In 2023, Congressional Hearings, Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra, and Director of Office of Refugee Resettlement, Robin Marcos, forced to admit that their agency had no contact with over 85,000 UACs. They were lost. What did DHS, HHS, and ORR do to correct this humanitarian disaster? Nothing. In fact, all 3 agencies created further policies and procedures to increase the efficiency of moving UACs from the border to the interior of the United States to unknown and unvetted sponsors. Unaccompanied alien children were being handed off to total strangers. Then they disappeared into the darkness of labor and sex trafficking. In fact, a year later in August of 2024, the Inspector General with oversight over DHS issued a report stating the number lost UACs was not 85,000, it was over 320,000.
Yep.
My business partner, Ryan Matt, and I spent 6 months traveling across America, filming a documentary titled, What is Treason Trafficked? The evil of child sex trafficking is difficult to digest and understand. However, after conducting numerous interviews with officers, agents, and whistleblowers from every alphabet agency and department, it was made clear to us that the federal government knowingly and actively facilitated these criminal acts. After several exhaustive months of filming, interviewing, and then editing this documentary, I state without reservation that the United States federal government is the world's largest child sex trafficking organization in modern history.
Love it.
The probability that thousands of these UACs are being raped at this very moment is 100%. The call to action has three parts, my call to action, and they're swift, and they happen at the same time. Every means necessary is to be taken to ensure all four borders of the United States of America are sealed shut. 2, there's a national law enforcement emergency to locate and rescue every single one of the 550,000 unaccompanied alien children that are lost. 3, a full-scale investigation of every U.S. department, agency, and every NGO participating in this criminal act shall be launched, and every person involved shall be arrested. Finally, the intentional opening of our borders is an act of treason. I encourage questions, and so I may further articulate this allegation. Thank you.
I am telling you. So keep in mind, he was told you have violated the rules by stating the president's name, Mayorkas's name, Harris's name. And he's like, and he told us on Monday, because I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not going to listen to that. This is what's happening. The guy is spot on, guys. If you listen,
we talked about this, and if you want to know if how many major political people are involved in the sex trafficking trade, start by the ones who aren't closing the border. I'm not saying they're involved. Okay, I am not. So please do not. However, you see all this stuff with children. Remember, we have to protect children, right?
Yeah.
We have to.
Oh yeah, that's number one concern,
except
right,
for
of them.
Abortion and children in school being read to by people who
Drag
think
queens
they're
and
the
trans.
opposite sex. But anyway,
Puberty blockers. But other than that,
we have to start there. Okay. And somewhere in there, and JJ Carroll's not wrong. Somewhere in there is big people involved in this, making a lot of money. Now we can speculate who that is, but look at the ones, Republicans and Democrats alike, who are not fighting to close the border. They're either involved in trafficking or drugs.
Correct.
Something, because
there's something financial. There's a financial benefit to them.
It's not just voters. It's not just to get voters in here, because that's one of the reasons why they had them come in. It's not just voters. There's something else.
Correct. Yeah.
Just saying.
And so one of the Democrats, and I didn't bring this video, said to him, remember when JJ was on, not this last time before that, he told us about what happens to the children when they die. What happens to them? They harvest their organs, they sell their bodies. So one of the Democrats said, this is hard to believe. There's no proof. You have no proof of that. Where are they at? He's like, where are they at? That's like asking, where are all the gang members at? They're out there. You know it. I've talked to people that have processed the bodies. It's on my documentary. They have done it. They know where they're at. You know, just it's the fact that they're like, I don't believe you. You don't have any facts. You don't have any proof. These are the same people that haven't, one, watched a documentary, or two, just are complicit in it. Jim, one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Financial,
indirectly or directly.
Indirectly or directly, they are implicit in it. So, anyways, wanted to bring that. Thank you for indulging us to play that. I think it's
out of
about
respect
time.
for JJ mostly, but out of respect for folks, this is a big issue. I mean, we talk about the illegals all the time, but very few people talk about the over 320,000 children that
he's going to well over 500,000 when it's all said and done. Missing children. Now imagine, like he says, if 500,000 children went missing, your child, citizens children across this country just all of a sudden went missing. Where would there be outcry? Would there be,
and just
be from the ones who aren't implicit in it? That's for sure.
The NGOs too.
It's the NGOs, man. And I'm telling you, they are terrible. Jim, let's go on to a couple other things real quick. Speaking of illegal immigration, and I will just play right into this. The governors, some of these governors are saying, we're not going to abide by Trump's rule. We're not going to, so what does Tom Homan say to them? The new border czar. This is what he says.
Happens to a mayor or local police department chief that is under Democratic leadership that obstructs ICE in your federal agents that are helping get these deportations, what happens to them?
Well, first of all, if they don't want to help us get the hell out of the way, we're going to do it. If I got to send twice the amount of resources to that city, that's what we're going to do. If they would give us access to the jail, that would mean less agents in the community. For them pushing back and not letting us in the jail, it just means more agents are going to be in the community, so they're hurting themselves. Finally, I'll say this. They need to educate themselves. They need to review this. Title 8, United States Code 1324, III. Read about that and don't cross that line, because it is a felony to harbor and conceal an illegal alien from ICE. Read the statute, don't cross that line.
That's a warning from Tom Homan right there.
I mean, listen, this guy's not playing around. He's been tasked with a job, and he's passionate about this. And damn good.
Because he cares about the families that have been affected by this.
Correct. He cares about them. So, Jim, let's play a couple things real quick here from The View. Do you want to talk about that a little bit real quick?
Yeah, I want to. Okay, so Matt Gaetz and
because I've got one too that I want to play.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz and his people sent a letter to ABC.
Yep.
And they were forced to legally have to say this. So I want you guys to pay attention to what Sonny Hostin, as she's saying.
Sonny Hostin.
And then
the resident
Whoopi,
race baiter.
And then Whoopi at the end. They're not happy, but this is very funny, folks.
Look at the face.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no. It didn't start over. You just got to start
hold
over.
on. My bad.
Yep.
On screen. What about gay? Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
She was not happy.
Oh, boy, it was like most people are happier during a colonoscopy than she was.
Well, and I want to add,
not pleased.
Can I add something real quick before you look into this? Because, folks, if you want to know why people are going after Matt Gaetz, all right, he's went after Department of Justice many, many times. He's attacked the people that are now attacking him in a much worse way. Because what he's doing is bringing out truths. What they're doing is making up lies. This might be one of them. He actually went and talked, or didn't talk. He spoke about Pelosi and her money that she was getting. Her and her husband, Paul. Watch
How good
this.
they are at
This
stocks?
might be one of the reasons.
Reportedly called Pelosi to deliver a warning about Congress's antitrust bills.
Without objection.
So maybe it's the lobbyists, maybe it's the power of these very powerful CEOs making personal calls, but it could even be something more sinister. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record a Fortune.com piece entitled Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband cashed in on big tech just as Congress was set to pounce.
Without objection.
And in that article, there's discussion of the spouse of the Speaker of the House making a $6 million call on stocks that netted $5.3 million.
Wow.
So if you ever wonder why they're attacking the man, there you go.
There you go. That's right. That's exactly.
That's called cleaning the swamp.
Yeah, and because they're attacking him is exactly why he's the right choice. I want to continue with The View because I know our
we love
listeners love him. So again,
like, you know,
resident race
love the
baiter
view.
said no one ever.
But no one ever.
No one
And
ever.
Sonny looks so
Sonny looked
sincere.
So sincere. She did. Yeah, absolutely. Resident race baiter on the View, and you know, wildebeest Sonny Hostin, Sonny race baiter.
Yeah,
correct. She also they're just not learning. So to be honest with you, we know the mainstream's dead. We know all that. The View's just abused. I mean, here we are giving it attention. I don't even know why. I mean, so they do get the attention, you know.
Yeah,
so I'll give them that.
That's not going to make people watch them.
but I think it's to their demise, as was shown in this last election. Hollywood and shows like The View and mainstream media and Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, almost forgot her name. How quick we soon do.
Yeah,
they're the reason Trump's here, by the way. So when you look around for blame, if you lefties want to blame
Pelosi
somebody
in there,
yeah, this is the reason he's here. Thank God. But resident race baiter has this to say again. Let's listen.
As a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well.
Oh, I
only in your mind.
Look at her. Look at her.
I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. But
is your neighbors and friends racist and misogynist? What kind of friends you hanging around with, Sonny?
it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists.
Okay, so I got to stop. Sorry. I need to know her background and her lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the poor middle class experience that Kamala Harris had? Is it what is her lived experience? That's what I need to know. I can't say she hasn't experienced it. I don't know.
And look, just because maybe some douchebags in her past called her the N-word or disrespected her in one way, shape, or form doesn't make the country racist. It makes those two assholes racist. Not systemic. The country.
Sonny. This from our good friend. I'm going to need therapy after all these View clips.
Sorry,
Stay
Mike.
tuned. Stay tuned. We're not even halfway done with this one, buddy. Here we go.
And the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris.
Wait, so are the blacks racist against Trump?
Yeah. The 13%.
Or are we just racist against Harris?
13%.
Are we? But the 85% who voted for Harris, they're not. That's not considered racism, right? Only when we don't vote for the black candidate.
My question is this: who's the other?
I mean, that's two: white, black, Hispanic, Asian. I mean, I guess Arab. I guess who's the other?
I guess it could be Native American. I guess that could be in there.
I would say, why aren't they in there?
Amish. Okay.
Are they racist?
No.
Are they? We got a graph. Oh, great. Who put this together? Where's the, let me see here. Oh, you guys did.
And 22,000 respondents.
Wow. What a chart. That's a good. Yeah.
It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education.
Okay, so here you go, by education. So never attended college.
So you're insulting people who know. So you're insulting the bricklayers. You're insulting the masons, right? You're insulting the plumbers. You're
the
insulting,
roofers, the plumbers, the carpenters.
Right.
Who many of them went to a trade school, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them. You can't be an electronic technician without going to a trade school, without getting a certificate or a degree of some sort, right? But that doesn't count. And I'm so sick of this. We're uneducated. That's why we voted. They just aren't. They'll never learn. We're racist and uneducated and misogynistic. That's all we are. We continue.
And those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
But I think
I've
you're
said that.
his point.
Let me just finish.
Which tells me everything. education does not equal intelligence.
Nope.
That's all it tells me.
Well,
and I have some people
look
pretty
at-
close
look
to
at the
me that
view.
I can. Huh?
Look at the view.
Look at
I'm
that.
sure they're educated people, right?
Well,
Yeah.
And so I've said that before, and there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about
But
this
his
country.
whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
And
then why didn't black people-
whether we
why didn't
agree or
black
not,
people-
oh, why didn't black people? Why didn't black?
Because
they're
still
racist.
They're still listening to people like you.
Say it, Sonny.
And
if
the,
it equates
left.
again, if it equates, Jim, to whites not voting for Harris because we're racist, then you can ask yourself the same question: why didn't blacks vote for Trump? Is it because they're racist? Why can't we talk about that out loud?
You know what was missing from that graph? The number of black
Facts?
people that voted for Trump compared to previous years for Republicans.
Correct. That's exactly right.
That's what that graph is missing.
Correct. Exactly.
And it's
and
as
and
long
other
as,
facts.
And because people are waking up and realizing people like her
Mhm.
and people from the left are not helping.
Correct.
The black community.
Yes.
Malcolm X said it best.
Yep.
Okay. The worst people for African Americans and black people in this country are white liberals.
Yep. Exactly. And Sonny Hostin. Here.
And Sonny
with Donald Trump's plans,
Black people
they
are
thought that he was
one of the
reflective.
poorest demographics in this
she won't
country,
even let her
but they
talk.
voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny,
I didn't
you're
say the
missing
vast-
it. Most of my
I didn't say
family,
the vast
a lot of my
majority,
family
Alyssa.
doesn't have
Yes,
college
you
But the
did.
degrees.
stats are the stats.
She
Nope.
will not shut the hell up.
Yep.
Who are you?
But that's not. It doesn't say
Yeah, the-
I'm
the-
white. I voted for Donald Trump because of racism.
That's
not. Let me just ask. What stat are you talking
Let me
about?
just dissect.
Let me. Yes, you can. There's a lot.
Hold on, hold on.
Oh, hold on. We got
Whoopi's
Whitey
going to
making
be
sense.
the voice of reason. Whoopi's going to be.
Hold on, y'all. We got a white girl making sense. We can't have that on the show today. Oh my God, it's just unbelievable. I just love when they scream racism, and it literally can't go the other way. And I'm not saying blacks voted for Harris because they're racist, but don't tell me whites voted for Trump because we are. It's bullshit, and I'm
Well,
sick
you heard
of
what
it
Bill
with these
Clinton
people.
said.
Well, yeah,
Bill Clinton said the first female president will be a Republican woman.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree 100%.
I agree.
Because
as soon as President Trump identifies as a woman before inauguration, he will be the first president.
that wouldn't be accepted, though.
That would be amazing. Jim, I got really a couple quick ones, but if you want to go in to play something here real quick, do you want to or do you want to just go ahead and keep going here?
Well, let me just add something real quick here, because I think it's very, very true.
The time of day could care less what they say. They are the problem. Period. I agree, but they're helping our cause. Trust me.
Yes, they are, and
they are helping.
The funny thing is they just found out that they kept saying these things all through this election cycle.
Yes, correct.
All through putting Kamala Harris up here higher than what she should have been.
Yeah,
right. Because now all of a sudden you see all the people coming out and saying, "Well, maybe she wasn't the strongest candidate." We knew that when you guys put her in.
No kidding. Oh, Biden does have mental capacity. 3 weeks before the election.
But so we're going to talk about President Trump's cabinet.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm sick and tired of it. Look, when a Democrat president comes in, Republicans get mad at all the ones that they put in there. They're not worthy in there. Now, we did find out this year. Okay, he was entitled to put his cabinet in.
Whoever he
Biden
wanted.
was. No problem with that. Questioned some of the decisions, but hey,
of course.
Now look what happened in this country in the last 4 years.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so we can honestly say failure.
No,
let the president choose who he wants in his cabinet.
Yes,
that's the way it should be. We had to deal with it from the left when they
voted
put in Peter Buttigieg for transportation secretary.
Yeah, we didn't vote. I didn't vote for
Levin
Pete Buttigieg or all that, but he had the right to do it.
Exactly. Rachel Levin for Deputy Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. All right. They've proven they're not worthy. DEI has ruined so many schools. so many businesses, it's
The
just
military.
it's disgusting. So when you put cabinet members in, listen to what Coach Tuberville, Senator, I still go by Coach, but
yeah, Auburn coach, Alabama.
Senator Tuberville says, listen, folks, this is what we need to do.
First of all, no matter who President Trump picks, the media are going to hammer him every day. You know, we've all been around pretty long, Larry. It doesn't make any difference. If you're a Republican, you got to fight your way through all this. If you remember Clarence Thomas and Brett Kavanaugh, we're going to look at facts, not rumors. There's more rumors up there going around about Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth, and even all of them will have some kind of rumor when it comes down to it. But we've got to look at facts. But we got to help President Trump. He's not going to pick somebody that's a criminal. He's not going to do that. He's going to vet everybody, and he's done that. I'm looking forward to working with all of them. I'm looking forward to backing all of them as long as the facts are there.
Yep, that's
Facts
true.
Over rumors.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the
the Gates
Democrats
rumor is just
can't.
it's unreal,
right? Because how many times have we said you're not going to be no more surgeries for transgenders?
Yeah.
We've never said that.
Yeah.
The left has said it. The media has said it. We haven't. You're still going to be allowed to have surgeries, folks. That is not changing.
That's right.
And
Richard Gricker says this. Not crazy about Oz. Time will tell with that.
Never
one.
have been.
Yeah, I've
crazy
never
about
been.
that
I thought he was a shady kind of candidate. Still, I think should have won PA over Fetterman. But you know, now Fetterman's making a little bit more sense. So you tell me. But
Fetterman might be moving over to the Republican Party.
He might, or independent at least. He might pull a mansion. You know, I agree. I'm not super, but he's not. You know, it's in charge of Medicare, Medicaid. It's not Health and Human Services. He's under RFK Jr., which I have my questions about too, still on a lot of issues, but not on that particularly. So we'll see. I think it's a loyal pick again. And I don't think you're going to hear much from Oz anyways. But anyways, yeah, go on.
There is something that I want to bring up, and everybody out there listening, I watched Neil Cavuto the other day at the gym.
Why?
And because I was at the gym and it's like, what the heck? Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
They brought up entitlement programs.
Oh boy.
When did Social Security become an entitlement program?
Well, I mean, I guess if you
somebody who's as smart as Neil Cavuto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brought it up.
This just in real
Social?
quick. I just want to make sure we play this real quick. Thank you, Mike. Guilty verdict for Lake and Riley murder case. Thank God. Thank God. Thank you, Mike, for putting that on there.
I don't even think we should bypass prison. Just boom, bye. See ya.
You just give the parents the weapons and just let them go
folks
to
out
town.
there, Social Security is not an entitlement. It's not.
It's
okay.
not.
Now, everybody talks about entitlement programs. They want to attack Social Security, which is not, in Medicare and Medicare.
Yep.
But what are we not hearing about from anyone? Welfare.
Of course,
permanent disability.
Yep. Of course not.
Those are probably the two biggest wastes that we have. We have companies that need
Doge will take care of that.
They need employees. We need people to work here. Okay. Oh my God, you're going to send all the illegals out. That's going to take care of the working population. Well, we've got another group of working population that we can cut into.
We sure do.
Cutting off their funding for welfare.
Yep.
I am tired of these people being on welfare, and I don't care what color, what nationality, who you are. You are on welfare for more than 2 years. You're lazy and don't want to work. And doctors sign off on these. Doctors sign off on these permanent disability people because they just get tired of hearing them bitch.
Yep. Exactly.
Laziness.
Or they get some sort of kickback from it.
Cannot
How do
be
I know?
rewarded anymore because the rest of us have to work to take care of them.
Yeah.
And that is not, that's
Not
where we
permittable.
need to start. Let's not go after the people who have worked their entire life.
Correct.
To make what they did in Social Security, who earned the Medicare and Medicaid because they are older and they need that. Let's not deal with that first, folks.
Correct.
The hardworking people of this country that were hardworking at the time that taught us, our parents taught us how to be hard workers.
Correct.
Okay. Let's not attack that first. I just get so sick of we got to go to entitlement program, Social Security. We earned that.
Yeah, we earned that. We earned that by working.
Yeah.
We earned that by working. Anyways,
Sorry, I got to get off my soapbox.
Yeah, I know you're well, but you haven't gone on a welfare kick in a long time, so that was good to hear. Hey, did you hear about the insurrection that happened at the Senate offices yesterday? I
Yes,
don't know if you saw this or not. Free Palestine again, by the way. Senate offices. Is this not an insurrection? This one isn't, right? This one's okay. This is an okay insurrection. This is a peaceful protest. One job's not genocide. What are they talking about? What are they talking about?
These people are so
real quick. We don't need to watch it all. That's for sure. But you're getting the point.
Yeah, I get the point. And look how many masks are out there.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I was like, did you notice how many of them are masked? What I like to look at this chick here. You know, what are you holding in the case? What is your you got a mask on? What would I don't even know what your shirt says. I'm not even paying attention to it. How much you getting paid?
Arming Israel, I think.
What does it say? Stop bombing
the
Israel?
One in the back. The guy's back shirt behind says stop arming Israel, I think. And then it says,
should none of these people be concerned of the fact that we that Joe Dementia Biden gave the approval to use U.S. missiles in the Ukraine-Russian war, and Ukraine used them? Does that not concern these idiots?
Scary.
Yeah, I'm removing them. They're gone. I'm done with those idiots.
Buckeye McGrowan, you're right. To the gulag.
To the gulag. That's right.
And to the point. Yep. Sure does look like an insurrection.
I mean, how'd they get in? That looks like an insurrection. Double standard. That's always
double standard.
100% double standard. That's for sure. I was going to play one more, Jim, but in the absence of time, I'm going to let you play yours. Mine had the ABC News host who was addressing Representative Nancy Mace on the transgender. Don't use the bathroom, transgender person, whoever that is. Did I freeze up again?
No, McBride, okay. Right? That's the new Congressman.
Correct.
Congressman.
Yeah, Congresswoman.
Just happens
Congressman.
$20 says stands up when he pees. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you know, so I mean, I don't know how to do this. Shoot. I don't have it. I had a picture side by side of man and pretending to be a woman, but I can't play that. Anyways, you know what he looks like. Jim, go ahead. You continue.
Okay, so here's my favorite thing. You know, and again, Dale and I, we had this female and I, Jen Psaki, had a very public breakup.
You did. It was very public, and TMZ covered it.
She keeps making my decision 100% correct that it was toxic relationship. I had to get out. It's just not good, right?
Bona fide idiot.
Folks, I want you to hear what she says. She's talking about podcasts and other media news, if you will. Okay. And then Dale and I want to add something at the end that she's missed. And let's play a game. See if you know what she's missing.
You can guess what she missed.
Right.
Okay.
Things that's changed even since I got involved in politics is just the rise of the percentage of people who get their information off of platforms that have no fact-checking mechanism and no accountability for having disinformation spread, right? And as you know well, and I mean, when I got started in Democratic politics, you know, most of it was like local TV ads. That was what it was about. Obviously, national TV, local print. Those local TV is held to a higher standard of accountability than social media platforms in terms of having accurate information on their platforms. That is crazy. And so it is, how does it change? How are people held to account? Laws have to change.
I want to ask you about one thing that's gotten some attention this week from the book, which was a story you told about President Biden looking at his watch after caskets had come back from Afghanistan. The story was not told completely accurately, which you've acknowledged. I know some of the folks, including some of the families of those soldiers who were upset by that.
Okay, so congratulations, Grit Gear.
Yep. It's in fact checking herself. Pretty obvious, was it not?
Our network
Yeah.
In our podcast,
yep,
we present things
mm-hmm.
that is out there from media.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we
mm-hmm.
give our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But when we bring something up by saying that, Kamala Harris is not going to lower taxes,
mm-hmm.
we've got 40 years of service to show that she's not going to lower taxes. Okay.
Jim. Yeah.
We are more fact checking than they are.
Jim, if everybody only knew the 500 things we get a week that we don't report on because it's not true, right?
Correct.
We get crap all the time sent to us by text message, by social media that we're like, nope, then that's just not true, right? So, and we do our research. We fact check ourselves. And the fact is, the Democrats have destroyed this country.
Yep.
That's it. The media and the Democrats have destroyed this country, and nobody gives a crap about Hollywood anymore. Dispute those facts, Facebook. Dare you.
See, they took credit. They didn't take credit for losing when Hillary lost, right? So they had to make a comeback.
Irrelevant. Agreed. About that.
So they had to make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
So Biden beating Trump. Well, I still want to know where those 20 million voters were at.
Gee, I don't know.
Somebody needs to tell me that.
They just didn't show up. Must have been raining where they were at.
So anyway, so they lost this one because their messages weren't listened to. They weren't the whole thing about Hitler, the whole thing about racist, the whole thing about misogynist, the whole thing about all of this stuff. As you see the people that surround him.
Yes, correct.
As he walks into a bar or a barbershop, all black people, and they love him.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jim. I'm glad you brought that up because Scott Jennings feels the same way, especially about
Scott
the
Jennings
media
is going to get fired.
I love Scott Jennings. Yeah.
I'd expect Hitler to get so many meeting requests, first from Joe Biden, now from Mika and Joe. It's amazing that literal Hitler is getting all these meeting requests. And what it tells me, Professor, is that all the rhetoric that came from the left, from the Democrats, from the White House, from Kamala Harris and everyone else before.
Okay, sorry. Professor, this smug son of a bitch is a professor. Remember what Sonny Hostin said?
Yeah.
This is an educated dude.
This is an educated dude. Yeah, I don't think we get to hear
the election.
From him.
All of the rhetoric, the fascism, the Hitler, the Nazi rally at him, it was all a bunch of BS. They didn't mean any of it. And if I were in the Democrat sort of rabble's shoes, I would be looking at all my leaders and going, did you just BS me for an entire 6 weeks before the election?
I just reread.
Did you just BS me for Scott Jennings is classic. What are you looking at? What are you looking at your watch for, Jimmy? Okay.
I'm telling you, that professor. Okay. There's no evidence of anything white supremacist or anything else.
None.
None.
Yeah, none.
President Trump is there white supremacy? Absolutely, there's white supremacy.
Yeah.
They're horrible individuals. There's horrible people that we completely separate from.
Correct.
Okay, and I just don't. I don't.
So here, the 20 million voters must have all go to Joe Biden's basement, or they went to Bucks County, PA, or they went to where they're still counting over 2 weeks, and we can't count a small district. Anyways.
It's great.
Jim, we've got to roll. Folks, we can't thank you enough. I do want to, and we haven't today, so I just absolutely must get Grit Gear in here. Please listen, then we'll be back to wrap up the show. Grit Gear, Lock and Load Coffee. Be right back.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
We do stand as Americans. We are not systemically racist. GritGearApparel.com, right there.
Shirt.
Lock and load. Love the shirt.
And load.
Lock and load. Coffee.com. Use coupon code 2guys. Get 10% off your first order. Please use coupon 2guys every time you order so they know you heard it here first. Plus, you get free shipping on everything over $125. And you can join their coffee club and you just get continuous. You never run out of their coffee, and you don't want to run out of coffee. I don't. I absolutely cannot run out of coffee. So please go there, support them.
Yep. Not coffee.
Family owned and operated, veteran supported, America First company, GritGearApparel.com, lockandloadcoffee.com. Folks, thank you again for joining us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. If we didn't get to all your comments, we apologize. We want to thank Steve Cleverley, again, the Sergeant at Arms for the Warrior Shield Foundation, for coming on. Remember, that is warriorshield.org, warriorshield.org. Please go there. They'll have all the details of the event next year as it comes up. But in the meantime, help them out, donate them, share their website. Let people know that this is an organization that is helping amazing organizations. CorporalChado.org as well, CPLCHADO, I believe, .org. Am I right?
And we will
about that.
We will talk more about that as we
absolutely will, and we'll bring you the story, and I'll put a little ad together or something just so people can get familiar with it and all that. It's going to be an amazing event, that's for sure. We look forward to it. Once again, we want to thank personally Warrior Shield Foundation for their commitment to us and to the show,
accepting us into their family. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's an honor, an absolute true honor. Can't say it enough, people. I can't say it enough. You meet certain people in your life and they make a huge difference in your life. This is a group that has done that. That's for sure. And they're making a difference in so many lives. It's super impressive. And we thank you, Chance, and the group for allowing us to be a part of it. Jim, anything else to add before we say goodbye for the week?
Nope. Everything's going well. And let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep the president safe.
Yes.
And let's pay attention a little bit more to this Biden allowing Ukraine to use our long-range missiles. There's
things are getting shaky.
There's something going on here.
There's something
when
going
he
on.
spent all these years not only giving them money, not
there's something
now all of a sudden. So something's going on, folks.
I have my theory on the end game. Maybe we'll discuss that on Monday. So, folks, have a good weekend. Jim, you have a good weekend.
You too.
Appreciate it. Thank you again for your
God bless
support.
America,
Hit the like,
everybody.
follow, share. Please share and like. Hit the like button, please, on Rumble and on X. Follow us there. We appreciate you all, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
See you, man. Where am I? No, there I am. No, where am I? It's at the bottom now. Hey, goodbye again. See you, Jim.